Hi there, my name is Lizzie Estes, and this is my e-me bag. So I want to first start off by talking about the people and life experiences that have developed my desire to teach. So I grew up in Washington State. I called the Pacific Northwest my home. I did move to Montana part of my childhood, and in Montana I went to this very tiny school called Lamont School. It was a K through 8. There were 60 kids. There was two other girls in my grade, and that's really where I fell in love with science. I remember going on trips to Yellowstone where we went camping and stayed in cabins. I remember going on six-passenger planes to explain the concepts of gravity and the Bernoulli's effect, and it was really in Montana where I found that passion to want to teach science. As far as people who influenced my life, I'd definitely say my grandmother and mom had a big part of me becoming a teacher. We always joke that teaching is the family business. I always remember going to my grandmother's classroom when I was in preschool and sitting in on her fifth grade elementary class. Remember, that was the coolest thing, and I always wanted to be like her. And I would always have my little teacher clipboard with me whenever I visited her house. So I had the wonderful opportunity of going to college in Hawaii. I always seem to talk about Hawaii a lot, but it definitely had a major impact on me becoming a teacher and where I am today. So like I said, in Hawaii, I played college soccer, so that's ideally what brought me to Hawaii. I definitely say in Hawaii, I grew up exponentially. I definitely learned to make decisions for myself there, and I really was able to adventure and kind of do some soul searching as well. While in Hawaii, I kept good relationships with my grandpa, who was married to my grandma, the teacher. And he was the one who really encouraged me to do what I wanted to do. And he would always tell me, your grandmother would be so proud of you. And that always made me want to go into teaching and become what I want to become. Also, while in Hawaii, I had two different jobs. I was a pharmacy technician for CVS, and I also was a group leader and site director for a YMCA after school program for middle school kids. So I really struggled with this at this time in my life. I really thought I was going to be a pharmacist, hence the pharmacy job. But every time I was at the YMCA after school interacting with those kids, it made me really question if that's what I really wanted to do. And it got to a point where the pharmacy job became miserable, and I always looked forward to going to see my kids every day. And that's kind of one of the big factors that really made my final decision to go into teaching. So, with that decision, I ended up here at Santa Clara University. While I was still in Hawaii, I had applied to the 1 year program, and it was something I really saw myself doing. And when it came down to it, I really knew I had to follow my heart, um, literally and figuratively. So I packed my bags and set out on a new adventure and new life in California here to start the program. Okay, so moving on, gonna go into little bit about my purpose as a teacher. So I'm gonna start off with the why. So obviously we get this question a lot as teachers. Why do we want to go into it? And simply put, for me, I love science, I love kids, and I love learning. As a science teacher, I really want to make learning fun, engaging, and thoughtful. More specifically, I want to help kids be aware of their impact on the world and show them how science is a part of our everyday lives. I love it when I see kids' light bulb turn on, which has really guided me to become a teacher. I grew up in a family of teachers, like I had previously said, and I had many great teachers myself. I want to be able to be a role model and a positive light to the kids I teach, just like the many teachers that help shape my passion for science and learning. Ultimately, I want to shape minds, I want to instill positive morals, and I want to give the power of knowledge to every student I meet, and that's why I want to teach. Okay, and now for the who I want to teach. So ideally, I want to teach secondary age students. Middle school is really what I'm shooting for. I am open to high schoolers, but a lot of my experience working with kids has been with middle schoolers. So I really want to teach these guys. Despite the stereotypes that people form about the age group, I find them to be really fun and quirky. At this age, they still have a sense of respect for teachers and they want to be helpers. They want to be there. They want to get along with everyone. Honestly, I get along really well with middle schoolers, and they keep me on my toes with their wit and endless questions. Also, I think it's a really important stage in their lives and I want to be that influence on them, someone for them to look up to and to encourage them. And that's really what they need. They need that support and someone to believe in them. Now, moving on to the how. So here is what I would consider a summary of my teaching personality, of who I want to be, who I'm going to strive to be every day. And with this, I really see myself being a teacher who students seek out for conversation. I want to be someone who they have a great deal of respect for. I know I personally will have very high expectations for all and will be a challenging teacher. I'm not going to make it easy for them because I know they can achieve. So in this aspect, I definitely see myself balancing the strict yet kind soul. I want to be myself and I want to be silly with them. I hope to let my true colors shine and for them to do the same in return. And then on the screen here you see are just some of the characteristics and descriptors of what I see my personality being in the classroom. And moving on now, I want to go into a little explanation of where I hope to be in the teaching profession within the next 5 years and then the 10 years as well. So in my 5-year plan, I hope to find my home school. I really want to find that place that I feel welcomed, that I feel like I'm making a difference, and to really be a part of. Additionally, I would like to complete my Proby 1, Proby 2, and receive my tenure. Like I said, I want to find that school that is a community, and growing up in a very small town in Washington, I really want to find a smaller school down here to give that sense of community. I don't see myself in a huge school like I am now. I'm at Milpitas High and they have 3,300 students. And I feel a great disconnect. I want to be in a smaller, tight-knit community. Additionally, I want to live in the community I'm teaching. I hope to have a house close to the school. Ideally, no commute or very little commute. And additionally, sometime in the next 5 years, I'd like to take on a soccer coaching position as well. And for my 10-year plan. In the next 10 years, I hope to still be in the teaching profession. I think that's my number one goal. I hope to be a veteran teacher that young teachers come for help and advice. I want to serve as a mentor teacher as well, passing on my knowledge. As for my teaching, I want to still be growing and learning. A couple ways I see myself doing that is attending innovative science and teaching workshops on a regular basis every summer. I also want to become a certified AP science course teacher, whether that be in bio or chemistry. And additionally, I want to take on additional roles and responsibilities in the school. It's definitely something I see myself doing. Whether that be a part of ASB, dance committee, taking on additional administrative roles, or even leading after-school clubs. But overall, I just want to be that mentor and that figure in the school that really makes a difference.